copywriting and technical writing job market is experiencing a seismic shift that most professionals in this space haven't fully grasped yet. We're talking about $120,000 salaries facing unprecedented downward pressure, and the data is unambiguous. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact employment statistics, real-world case studies, and economic projections that illustrate why the next 12 to 18 months represent a critical inflection point for anyone earning six figures in content creation, copywriting, or technical writing roles. Let's start with the hard numbers. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics employment reports for 2023 and 2024, combined hiring across copywriting, content writing, and technical writing roles declined between 12% and 18% year over year. The LinkedIn labor market analysis corroborates this trend, showing that job postings for copywriter roles dropped 14.3% from Q4 2023 to Q4 2024, while content writer postings fell 16.8% in the same period. This isn't a seasonal fluctuation, this is a structural contraction. But here's what makes this especially urgent. The narrative you're hearing from optimists in the industry is increasingly detached from reality. The argument goes something like this: AI will generate first draft, but someone still needs to prompt, edit, and refine. This person imagines themselves in that role, the human-in-the-loop editor who commands premium fees for their judgment and expertise. It's a comforting story. It's also becoming financially destructive. Consider the case of Marcus Chen, a technical writer at a mid-sized SaaS company in Austin, Texas. In 2023, his base salary was $118,000 with a total compensation package of $135,000, including bonuses and stock options. His company employed 4 full-time technical writers. By mid-2024, they'd implemented Claude and ChatGPT-4 into their documentation workflow. By January 2025, the department had been reduced to 2 writers, Marcus and 1 junior writer, with an explicit mandate to manage AI output and maintain brand voice. Marcus's new salary, $105,000. His bonus pool evaporated. The company justified this by saying productivity per writer has increased 40%, which is technically true. But Marcus lost $30,000 in annual compensation, and he's working harder managing AI outputs than he ever did writing from scratch. Marcus's experience isn't anomalous. Across the industry, we're seeing a pattern emerge. Companies aren't hiring humans to write content anymore. They're hiring humans to supervise machines writing content. These are fundamentally different roles with fundamentally different compensation structures. Supervision and curation pay 20-40% less than original authorship. Let's dig into why this is happening from an economic perspective. The marginal cost of AI-generated copy is approaching zero. ChatGPT-4 costs roughly $20 per month on a subscription basis, or $0, 02-0 per 1,000 tokens for enterprise API access. Human copywriter costs approximately $50-60 per hour fully loaded, salary plus benefits plus overhead. For a company generating 50,000 words monthly, which is standard for a mid-market tech company, human authorship costs around $18,000-22,000 monthly. AI-based generation and curation costs approximately $80-120 monthly. The math is brutally simple. Companies that don't consolidate their content teams and shift to an AI plus human curation model face competitive disadvantage. Someone has to edit the AI argument fails because it underestimates 3 critical factors. First, AI output quality has improved faster than human editing costs have declined. A GPT-4 generated piece of technical documentation requires less editorial intervention today than a piece written by a junior copywriter required 5 years ago. Second, companies aren't paying a premium for supervision, they're paying a commodity wage for a commodity task. The supply of people capable of editing AI output vastly exceeds the supply of people capable of writing compelling copy from scratch. This abundance crushes wages. Third, AI systems are getting better at self-editing through prompt engineering and chain-of-thought reasoning. The human in the loop isn't even essential anymore. Let's look at specific case studies across different sectors. In the fintech space, a 2024 Deloitte analysis found that companies using AI for regulatory copy and compliance documentation reduced their compliance writing headcount by 35% while maintaining output levels. The remaining writers shifted to brand voice management roles at salaries 28% lower than their previous average. At a major healthcare tech company we tracked, they replaced 3 senior medical writers earning $125,000, $145,000, each with 2 mid-level editors earning $72,000, $85,000, who manage AI-generated medical content reviewed by their existing clinical team. The data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the decline isn't uniform across all content roles. Highly commoditized content, blog posts, product descriptions, regulatory documents, has seen the steepest cuts. More specialized roles with domain expertise requirements have held up better, but here's the critical detail. Specialized now means you need expertise in your subject matter, plus AI prompt engineering expertise. Most copywriters don't have both. The ones who do are clustering at the top end, capturing disproportionate compensation, while everyone else compresses into lower salary bands. A LinkedIn labor market analysis examining job title evolution shows that AI content manager roles have grown 47% year over year, while traditional copywriter roles have shrunk 16%. The new roles pay 18-22% less on average because they're positioned as management/operational roles rather than specialized craft roles. This represents a categorical shift in how the market values content creation work. Counter-argument worth examining is this: AI isn't actually good enough yet, and human-written copy converts better. This argument has surface validity. Certain types of copy do perform better when written by humans. High-touch sales copy, brand narrative, creative positioning, and emotionally resonant messaging still benefit from human authorship. But here's the problem. The companies that can afford to pay $120,000 plus for copywriters are increasingly the ones with products so good they don't need great copy. And the companies with products that need great copy increasingly can't afford to pay $120,000 for it. The market is bifurcating. Once you're in the lower compensation tier, the $70,000, $90,000 band where AI curation hybrid roles are clustering, the upgrade path back to six figures becomes extremely difficult. That's partly because you're now working for a different type of manager with a different organizational charter. You're in a cost center function, not a revenue center function. Cost centers don't get budget for raises. This is where the next 18 months becomes critical. The decision point is now. If you haven't already upgraded your compensation, you're in a race against market compression. Here's what the financial math looks like over 18 months. A copywriter holding a $120,000 position today has roughly a 40-50% probability of either being laid off or restructured into a lower-paying role by mid-2026. If restructured, the average compensation drop is $32,000, $58,000 annually. If you assume a 45% probability of restructuring with an average $45,000 reduction, the expected value loss is approximately $20,000, $250 in year one alone, and compounds in year two. Over 18 months, the expected value loss to the individual is $35,000, $45,000. The way you avoid this is not by becoming better at AI prompt engineering. Thousands of people are learning that. It's by moving into roles where AI is a tool that enables higher leverage work, not a replacement for your core function. That means shifting from copywriter to roles like content strategist, marketing systems designer, or growth leader, roles where you're multiplying the output of AI systems rather than competing with them. These roles command $130,000, $180,000 plus because they're fundamentally about business impact, not content production. The window for this transition is closing. In another 12 months, the restructuring will be largely complete, the new compensation bands will have solidified, and movement will be significantly harder. Right now, you still have leverage because companies haven't fully embedded AI into their processes, and some still value traditional copywriting expertise. That leverage evaporates quickly once the restructuring is done. The data is clear. Copywriting salaries face real downward pressure over the next 12-18 months. Someone has to edit the AI argument is economically untenable, and professionals in this space need to make strategic moves now, either specializing into higher leverage roles or